Rise and shine, everybody. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Rise and shine. Peace to you, Miss J Jones. Welcome in. Peace unchosen. She says you should mod Chatty and Lupac to help the queens out because some people making fake channels with your brother's name and commenting on his post. I read CMT and said, "No, RH ain't typed this." Okay, I definitely will if they're in the room. I don't necessarily know how to do that. Hopefully, Jamie does, or Lacey does, but I don't know how to do it. But peace to you, Unchosen. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Come on in here. I'm gonna give you guys a minute to gather in because I want to have a serious conversation with y'all about protecting our children. And I want to keep it simply on this topic without talking about any other topic, okay? So as you guys come in, just understand, I do not want you guys commenting on any other topic in hand. You guys know how to think for yourself. You know how to apply it where it should be. And this is for all of you guys so we can protect our families better because the law has a lot of holes in it. And if we focus on the law and expect the law to protect our children, we're going to hurt our children, y'all. We're going to leave them out there. So I want to make sure that we can take heed to this information I'm about to give you guys. Peace, Robin. Simone, welcome in. K. Brown, what's up with you? Queen's Quarters, peace to you. Are you aware of what's going on in D.C. right now? No, I haven't heard. Enlighten me, please. Hang on one second, guys. Y'all come on in here. We're about to get ready. All right, family, we back. Let me shout some more of you guys out. I did put my Cash App in here, guys. I don't normally do that, but I want you guys to show me some love on here if you can. Also, you got the super chats and stuff like that, but it gets to me automatically with the $ Rise Everett Center. So I've been having people continuously say, Kevin, post your Cash App, post your Cash App. So I'm gonna start doing that every single time I go live. Makes no sense to sit here and give all your time and energy to something and do not post your Cash Apps and things, right? So I'm gonna start doing that. We're about to get into this, guys. I titled this live, "The Wolf in the Family: Protecting Our Children When the Law Falls Short." Okay, and so obviously there's been some recent things that came across my mind, came across my awareness, and I wanted to do this live without speaking specifically on any topic. Okay, I am going to show you guys this video. This video is pretty alarming. It's probably a skit. It's probably people acting this out. But I also believe that we can learn a lot from these things where people act it out. And I actually prefer them to be acted out. I prefer these scenarios not actually be true and real and be blogging on someone's real life. I prefer skits, and that's why I create them myself. Okay, now this one I did not create, but that's why I create a lot of the skits that I do, because I don't want to be blogging on people's actual life and be like canonizing a moment in someone's life forever on my channel, and then it end up with a bunch of views and everybody's seeing it and people can't really outlive it. I'd rather not do that. There are some very dysfunctional videos that come up that be real, but I'd rather not do those videos. I'd rather do videos that actors have taken part in so they can create an image for us to see. You understand? And then we can talk about it from there. But I'm gonna show you guys this video. I don't know if you guys know this, and I'll start it off with here. Did you guys know that most of the time your child is harmed as aid, it's through someone that you know. It's through someone that's very close to you. You understand? And so this video right here really highlights that. And I'm gonna show this to you guys. All right. And again, thank you, Angel Lowry, for the 149 super chat. Okay. Let's get into it. One second, let me find my IG. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find it up here. One second, guys. I'm having a tough time with this. Why can't I find it on my address bar? One second. Peace to you, Cree. Peace to you, Joe Will. Peace to all you guys. Just give me a moment. I got to get this right. I had it up here. Now I don't see it. 1 second. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, so here we go. Oh, come on, man. Did they just delete the video out of here? All right, here we go.
No choice, bro.
I do have a choice. I've been being grown. I've been doing what I want to do.
Cute,
now
bro.
it's the problem that I
See your ass back with your mom like you uncontrollable.
I can't go back with my mom. And you know my mom doesn't want me at her house. So where am I gonna go?
I don't know.
If mom's not gonna let me back in, I barely want to live here with you.
Where's the baby daddy at? Where's the baby daddy? You want to be grown and shit, bro.
I never asked for this.
Y'all look like it to me.
The baby. Y'all told me I gotta keep the baby and teach me a lesson.
What are you talking about? Your ass gonna go to school or you gonna get the fuck out of my house. That's it. That's all, bro.
I'm done. I'm over it.
Oh, you gotta get out then.
Go to school and be pregnant. Now I gotta get out. But you wasn't saying all this when your brother was doing what he was doing to me.
Bro, that ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me, bro. You just saying anything. That ain't got shit to do with me, bro. Like I said, if you don't want to go to school, your ass gonna get the fuck out of my house, bro. You can go. Bye. Bye. Bye.
I never even had to do this shit before.
Well, man, look. Like I said, bro, you got till. Man, you got till 4 o'clock to have all this shit out my house. You got till 4. You got till 4.
Where am I supposed to go?
I don't know. Figure it out. Figure it out. Just like you got pregnant. Go ahead, figure it out. You want to be grown? Get the fuck out of my shit. No.
I want to go to school.
You got no choice, bro.
Now listen. I don't know if you guys caught that. I don't know if you guys caught that, okay? Who was she pregnant by? I want you guys to hear. Who was she pregnant by? The father was not trying to hear her because the person she was naming was so close to home. He entered a state of cognitive dissonance and could not deal with what she was saying to him. He said she just saying stuff. He didn't want to hear what she was saying. There we go. His brother. Let's run that back. Some people say uncle. Let's run that back, okay? Let's listen again.
I have a choice. I've been being grown. I've been doing what I want to do.
That shit cute,
now
bro.
It's the problem that I
see your ass back with your mom like you uncontrollable.
I can't go back with my mom. And you know my mom doesn't want me at her house. So where am I gonna go?
I don't know.
If mom's not gonna let me back in, I barely want to live here with you.
Where's the baby daddy at? Where's the baby daddy? You want to be grown and shit, bro.
I never asked for this. Y'all
it look like it to me.
The baby. Y'all told me I gotta keep the baby and teach me a lesson.
What are you talking about? Your ass gonna go to school or you gonna get the fuck out of my house. That's it. That's all, bro.
I'm done. I'm over it.
Oh, you gotta get out then.
Go to school and be pregnant. Now I gotta get out. But you wasn't saying all this when your brother was doing what he was doing to me.
Bro, that ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me, bro. You just saying anything. That ain't got shit to do with me, bro. Like I said, if you don't want to go to school, your ass gonna get the fuck out of my house, bro. You can go. Bye. Bye. Bye.
I never even had to do this shit before.
Well, man, look. Like I said, bro, you got till. Man, you got till 4 o'clock to have all this shit out my house. You got till 4. You got till 4.
Where am I supposed to go?
I don't know. Figure it out. Figure it out. Just like you got pregnant. Go ahead. Figure it out. You want to be grown? Get the fuck out of my shit. No.
Now, right here, there's a comment that says, lock up everybody. The brother, the daddy, everybody. So I think that means the brother and the father. So now, guys, you guys are both correct. It's his brother, but her uncle. Okay, it's his brother, but her uncle. Now, like I said, I wanted to say to you guys that this is going to be a very uncomfortable topic, but it's necessary. If you guys read the Bible, you know that Proverbs 22:3 says, the prudent see danger and they take refuge, but the simple keep going and they pay the penalty. The simple pay the penalty. You know why? They deal with this thing called trust. They trust people. And what I want you guys to understand that when it comes to your number one duty and priority, which is to protect your children, you cannot deal with this thing called trust. You cannot use this thing called trust. You have to protect your children against everybody. I don't care if they've never done nothing before, because a lot of these cases are first-time offenders. So it's not like you have a criminal background to go off of. You don't want to leave your children with anybody too long unattended. Do you understand? Because all it takes is one time and you've lost your child forever. They will never be the same. Never. They will never be the same. And you're not being a good parent. You may love your child with all your heart. You might take them places. You may do things for them. You may do all that stuff. But you're failing if you're leaving them in the hands of people unattended and you're not checking up behind them. This thing you call trust will get your children really hurt, and you'll never get your child back. And what I mean by that is your child will psychologically be broken and they will never be the same. Okay, I haven't seen a person who suffered this and don't have residuals that go with that. Do you understand? And so if we can protect our children from this, we better. Because if we leave them with somebody we say we trust, all it takes is one moment, man. Your trust does not keep somebody else in boundary. It does not. Okay, so trust, it means nothing when it comes to protecting your child. You have to be diligent in protecting your child. That scripture says the prudent see danger and they take refuge, but the simple keep going and they pay the penalty. Okay, in nature, no creature survives without protecting its young. Not the eagle, the lion, not the bear. And yet in our world, we've been conditioned to believe that the law would do the protecting for us. But I'm here to tell you, it doesn't. And the statistics prove it. So the hard truth about who harms our children. Did you guys know this? 93% of our children are harmed sexually by 93% of our children that are harmed sexually know their abuser. Did you know that? 93%. That only leaves 7% to be strangers. Now, we raised up to tell our children, beware of strangers. Beware of strangers. Do you know you're only dealing with 7% of this happening? 7% of the statistical grape percentages. You're only dealing with 7% when you say, watch out for strangers. Do you understand that? Do you guys understand that? Now, this is the daughter arguing back with her so-called father in this, I believe it's a skit. I know that girl all too well, but she's definitely pregnant right here, okay? So it feels very real. It seems very real, but she's having this conversation with her father saying, you didn't say any of that when your brother was doing what he did to me. Notice how she didn't say exactly what he was doing, because this is when the brain shuts down. It's hard to be direct and say what somebody was doing because trauma a lot of times won't allow you. So as a parent, you got to be listening diligently, prudently, but he wasn't listening. He wrote her off and said, you just saying stuff. He wanted to chalk it up to lies before he deal with the fact that his brother touched his daughter. Yeah, it's so much to unpack. It's so much, and this happens in our household all the time. And because we don't want to see our brothers go to jail, our children go to jail, our sons go to jail, we'll let our daughters deal with the horrible trauma that sometimes their own brothers or uncles put on them, because we don't want to put them in jail. But your number one priority and duty is to protect your children. Your children. And if somebody will violate your child, you don't need to be protecting them at all. If someone will violate your child, you don't need to be protecting them at all. I had to say that again for the people in the back. All right. 93% of children harmed, SA-wise, know their abuser. 34% are harmed by family. 59% are by acquaintances. Only 7% are by strangers. Are we aware of that? Somebody type that in there. Type that in here, guys. 93% of all SA victims know their abusers. Type that in there. Type that in. These are people that you trust, that you allowing around your children. 34% of them are by your own family. That's an alarming amount. 34% are by your own family. 59% are by your acquaintances. People that you trust, your friends. Hey, can you watch my kid this weekend? Hey, I got an emergency. I'm trying to take this trip. Can you watch my kid? To an acquaintance that you think you trust. You don't know how sick they are and what they're dealing with. I don't want no bull crap in here. Delete that Latanya person. We got to deal with this issue. And I think anybody who trying to sway me from this, they probably sick with the same shit. So y'all watch out for Latanya Carson. Watch her. Don't let her nowhere near your fucking kids. Anybody who will come in here and try to sway me from what I'm doing right now, watch them, yo. They're offended. They're very offended. Watch them. They got some shit. They got some shit with them, y'all. Watch them. Anybody who in here trying to distract me from what I'm doing right now, make sure y'all watch them. Don't let them nowhere near your damn children. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for putting that in the chat. The enemy you see coming is rarely the one that strikes you down. It's the one that you think is watching your back that does. Do you understand? Now, let me break this down why the law alone will not protect your child, okay? Here's why the law alone will not protect them. Now, we're talking about SA offenders registries. This didn't start until 1947, and this was when it was statewide, okay, from state to state. 1947 is when we first got registries, where people had to be on a registry publicly known for SA-ing children. Do you not understand? Or just SA-ing people? The registry didn't start until 1947, and it took a whopping 43 years. 1994 is when it became federal that offenders had to face a lifetime child contact list, a ban or whatever. So from 1947 is when it was statewide. It only became federal almost 50 years later, y'all, in 1994. So many offenders never faced a lifetime child contact ban. So you can't just simply look up the background of somebody and find out if they're guilty of this or if they've ever been guilty of this. So this is why I'm paranoid about my baby girl now, and you should be. You should be on high alert to the point of almost paranoia. And nobody should be offended that you're protecting your child so much, because they should understand that that's your duty. They shouldn't be offended that you're protecting your child. You shouldn't be leaving it with any and everybody. Do you understand? Okay, Lupa, dope. That's what's up. So if you got somebody like this in your family past 1994, then they may not be on no registry. Do you understand what I'm saying? They may not be on a registry, and you may be thinking, okay, well, this is my father, my uncle, my grandpa. I can leave them with them, but I don't believe that sickness leaves. I haven't found a study that showed that people grow out of that or can overcome that. So if they're addicted to children, or they can be turned on by a children or a family member, they should want to stay away from children so they don't be tempted. But you can't bank on them doing that. You got to do your job as a parent. So again, in 1947 is when registries became statewide. They only became federal in 1994. So anybody who committed these types of crimes before 1994 won't be on that list. And the courts can't retroactively enforce these rules without violating the Constitution. So you may ask, why is it that they don't just go ahead and just make it retroactive? Why not go back and make everybody have to register, right? Well, the reason they can't is because the Constitution, they run into a major law. It's called the ex post facto clause in the U.S. Constitution. That clause says you cannot retroactively punish someone for something they did before the law existed, or increase their punishment after the act. So if a registry is considered punitive, forcing people who were convicted before the registry before the registry to register, it could be ruled unconstitutional. So they cannot do it based on the constitutional law, which is weird. And that's why I say all these little weird laws right here are protecting people who shouldn't be protected. Fuck that law. Undo the shit. Because people who done this crime before 1994, that means they can still walk around without you knowing what they've done. And this is not about embarrassing them. It's about protecting us. Why can't you go back and do this? Because it's against the law. Ex post facto clause. It's in the U.S. Constitution. You cannot punitively go back and make it retroactive that people register because they were convicted before the actual law of registry began. So they just good. They don't have to do anything like that. That means they go under the radar. So you can't just look it up. So that's why the law alone won't protect them, because you can't just look everybody up, because even people who may have done this still may not be on there if it was done before 1994. So even with the registries, harm still happens within circles of trust. This means that, it's not every time that someone does this that they've already done it before. So you have to protect your children at all costs, man. So your parental duties goes beyond the law. I want to make that clear. Your parental duties go beyond the law. If the law is offense, then your vigilance is a guard tower. If the law reacts, love must act first. So I want you guys to think about this. if the law sets up a fence around your house, you're at the top of the tower looking beyond the fence. Okay? Looking beyond the fence. You don't want anybody harming your children. Now, I thought about this though. You know, so my family suffers with the CDH1 cancer gene, right? Lacey has MS in her family. We often talk about, before you meet people, marry them, and make children with them, understand their medical history also, so you can understand that you're going to be bringing healthy children into the world, right? We knew each other's background, yet we still decided to have children with each other. You understand? But now a lot of us are meeting up and just having children without even thinking about that much. But this goes beyond checking your medical history, guys. This means you have to understand the father's background, her father's background, your father's background, her mother's background, your background, brothers and sisters and families' backgrounds. Imagine if we did all of that before we hooked up. Your family would feel like they've been being interviewed. They wouldn't even like that. They wouldn't even like being asked those questions. But it's you got to protect your child, and the family shouldn't be offended by that. They should understand that these questions are going to be asked, direct questions. Have you ever assaulted anybody? Have you ever been convicted of that? The answer should be no. And if you've never done it, you should be full well ready to answer those questions, man, because we got to know. This goes on far too long. I've seen people who didn't even know that their fathers or kinfolk have done this, and they right next to them and their children every single day. I don't like that. I don't like that somebody who's done something like that they don't have any sexual boundaries. And I don't believe that that's something that just leaves. Nah, man. And I don't understand why it's something that you have to even argue about in court or anything. It should be solely on the person who did that they shouldn't be able to be around children anymore, unsupervised. And I really don't even want to say unsupervised. I want to say period. I want to say period. If you harm a child, I think if you essay anybody, you shouldn't be around children, because children are defenseless. So I believe if you essay anybody, that proves that you're sick and you're willing to take somebody's temple without their permission. So I don't believe you should be around anybody. And y'all might think that's harsh, but if you essay somebody, you took their mentality, you broke them spiritually to the point they'll never be the same again. So fuck you, yo. No, you can't be around children. No, you can't be around children no more. Why would we care about that person? They shouldn't even be allowed back in society, actual society. They should have a whole different society for them if they're not in prison for life. Some cultures don't play about that, yo. That's a death sentence. Let's be real. So one thing that we as parents got to do is vet the circle before it forms. Before we form a family, you got to meet people, observe, and ask hard questions, and watch for patterns and inconsistencies. And damn it, learn them if you don't know them. Run background checks. Normalize that. Let's normalize that. Run background checks. Just as much as we ask for medical history before marriage, ask for moral history before allowing access to your children. And teach your children early. Explain what grooming behaviors look like, what their boundaries are, and how to speak up without fear. A healthy child will say, "No, don't touch me there. I'm uncomfortable." If your child is too timid to say that, then that means you still have work to do, because your children should be bold about putting their boundaries out there. I know adults who be weird about saying their boundaries, who don't know how to tell somebody they don't like that. They don't like what you just said. I don't like what you just did. I don't like you touching me there too soon. I know adults who feel uncomfortable about saying their boundaries, and that's crazy. Wow. And never delegate your protection to anybody else. Even trusted family members should be held under some form of accountability. You should know if your family members are doing this. And I'm not talking about use trust either. Well, I know him or her. I know my brother. I know my sister. I know my daddy. I know they wouldn't do that. Nah, man. Because again, 38% of it is family members. You don't think that somebody trusted them? You don't think the parents trusted them? So trust is not even Trust isn't something that you should be using. Your trust has nothing to do with what somebody else can do. Thank you so much, Mika. Absolutely. Trust has nothing to do with somebody else's behavior, y'all. That's your expectations. That's your expectations that have nothing to do with what a person will actually do. You don't know what they deal with. So your defenses should be layered. Not only doing background checks, but if somebody's watching your children, you should use check-ins, you should have cameras, open communication, and visible boundaries. So your child, number one, should be trained to know their own boundaries. And if they don't let nobody stay with them yet. It's too many times that young mothers, young fathers, their child ain't even at the age to speak yet, and they already leaving them with somebody. No animal does that. Ain't no babysitters in the animal kingdom, y'all. So why are we as humans saying, well, I'm tired, I need to get away? No, you don't get away for a couple years, man. Because at this point, your child could be touched and they can't even tell you. So if you're going to have a child, set a couple years of your life to the side and dedicate it to that child. Don't be trying to get away from them. Talking about I'm tired, I need a break. Nah, man, you need to sit right there with your child, man. You get a break when they get a break. When you put them to sleep, you go take a damn nap. This is why when it comes to maternity leave, they only give women a short amount of time. They should at least get the first 2 or 3 years off work so they can be home with their children. The fact you got to go back to work and leave your child who can't speak with somebody else is asinine to me. I don't care about daycares, none of that, because it happens there too. So if you have to have somebody watch your child, they should have to watch your child with cameras around. What they got to do that they can't be on camera. If they got to use the bathroom, that's different. But they don't take your child in that bathroom. Their changing table should be on camera. Where the child sleeps should be on camera. Where the child plays should be on camera. They shouldn't be able to take your child out of a camera's view, especially when they can't speak. I'm telling you guys, this may sound harsh. It may sound real critical, but all it takes is one time for somebody to touch your child, and you've lost your child forever. That is a different person you're dealing with when they've been harmed like that. So protect their purity, y'all. No wolf is going to tell you they're a wolf. And to me, I swear to you, yo, if somebody did that, yeah, it's only 6 weeks maternity leave, which is crazy. Come on back to work. They don't care about y'all, man. Hit me up after this, and I'm gonna send you guys a parental vetting checklist. Something you guys can just have there and begin to use this. Okay, I'm gonna read it to you now, but I'll send this to you. Okay, number 1 is meet and observe. Spend time with the person in different settings, public, private, and without others present. Watch how they interact with your child and other children. Notice their body language. Do they respect personal space? Do they seem overly physical? Some of you guys, man, somebody already bending down, getting at eye level with your child, with their arms out ready to pick your child up already, kissing on their cheeks already, just met the child. Man, they don't even understand that the child's ready for that yet. All these are red flags. And a red flag doesn't mean that it leads to that place, that it indicates necessarily that they'll hurt your child. But it's worth inspecting. That's all a red flag means. It doesn't even mean it leads to harm. You understand? If something is a red flag, so someone was reviewing a video the other day, and I said having 3 children is a red flag. They said, well, ain't your 3 children a red flag? Yes. It means ask more questions. Find out, is his 3 children all with one woman? Are they spaced out? Because if they're spaced out, that's a higher probability of a red flag, right? It may not be a red flag, but it means inspect. It means ask more questions. If all her children are at one person, She spent a lifetime with that one person. Okay, that's not a red flag, but it was worth asking questions. If all of them were with 3 different people and she barely knows them, now if she was in 3 long relationships, it still may not be a red flag. But regardless of how much they love children, children still have boundaries. And you can't be meeting strange children kissing on them. That's a red flag. Now, you as women know that if us men had it our way, we'd be walking up kissing y'all day one. But because we love women, doesn't mean that y'all don't have boundaries. So y'all might not be ready for a kiss yet. The first day, y'all might not be ready for a kiss. You know, a man pretty much is. We ready to go. But let's be real, y'all are not always. So we got to respect your boundaries. And so a grown-up who doesn't understand that a child has boundaries, that is a red flag. Indeed, Dad speaking. I'm so sorry. My nephew was essayed by his mother's brother when he was just in preschool. Once this happened, a child is gone. They're done. They're no longer that same child. Facts, I agree wholeheartedly, Lupac says. None of my 3 ever went to daycare. All of my pregnancy were planned and not unexpected because I wanted to be prepared physically, mentally, and financially for them. Absolutely. Yeah, no kissing and sitting in men's laps, women's laps either. Look, I'm going to tell y'all something. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you guys another video, okay? That's actually mind-blowing as well, okay? Give me one moment. Let me show you guys this. Because this right here gonna tip your hat right here. Hang on. I got to show y'all this one. Now that we're on this subject here. Watch this, man. Listen at what this woman says.
Younger, my mom would make us take explicit pictures of.
Hang on. Listen.
When I was younger, my mom would make us take explicit pictures of her, and she would send it to her boyfriend on WhatsApp. And I was literally probably 10 years old. She made my little brother do it at the time. He was probably 6 years old.
I'm pausing it right there. Did y'all hear what she just said? She said that her mother would make her and her brother take explicit pictures of her, and she would send them to her boyfriends on WhatsApp. She would make her children, a 10-year-old little girl and a 6-year-old little boy, take pictures of her, and she would send them to her boyfriend. Take that shit yourself. If you're going to be nasty, take a POV picture. Why are you having your children take this picture? Listen, now finish listening. Watch this.
She would like, oh, hold the camera like this. And she would like open her legs on the bed. And he would have to do it. And now I want you guys to understand this. What do you think that does to your child, your son? We're going to deal with the daughter. What do you think that does to your son to watch your mother open her legs, show you herself, and have you take a picture of it? And this is obviously a sexual manner because she's sending this to some guy and she's taking these photos in front of her son. Do you understand that young boys struggle with boundaries, sexual boundaries? They be turned on by they honor anything. And it's important that they understand what sex is and how it should be, how it's holy and everything. Young boys really need this type of teaching. And as a mother, do you think he's going to have any understanding of boundaries, being that early in life, his mother was busting it open and having him taking pictures of her so she could send him to some dude? His respect for women is going to be nothing. He ain't going to have no respect for women at all. He should not be seeing anything like that. Now, for a little girl, it breaks her boundaries down. How's she gonna understand what she's supposed to not do? What's holy and sacred on her when she watched her mother do this? Sabrina said, hurt people hurt people. Right there, she's creating generational curses because the daughter ain't gonna have any clue what sexual purity even means, and she don't get a fighting chance. She's been taking pictures of her mother, sending them to dudes. So why would she think that your body is holy? Why would she think her body is something that's holy? It's a wonder that she didn't do the same thing. That's why I can love how curse breakers can be in the midst of all of that and still know it's wrong. They still can know it's wrong. And you got to be grateful for that, because she could be repeating the same stuff. Instead, she's telling us about it now. And I really wish they could go back in time, and well, not go back in time, but arrest this lady for everything she was doing, just like you do Bill Cosby and all these other people who did stuff back in the day. And that it gets told on them now. Why can't you go arrest her ass for what she did to her kids, man? And this is SA. Let's finish listening.
I'm thinking, like, this is so disgusting. Like, girl, you is nasty. But she ain't seen nothing wrong with it. She was like, oh, y'all came out of me anyway, so it don't matter. She was saying it in Creole. And I'm just like,
do you hear that bullshit? Do you hear that? This makes me so mad, yo. Do you hear that bullshit? She would say, well, y'all came out of me anyway. Like that justifies you showing your naked ass to these kids. Yes. What was the rapper who said that his mother taught him how to kiss? And he didn't even, this is a grown ass man. He's telling this to the interviewer that his mother taught him how to kiss, and he still didn't realize he was being essayed. And he felt bad for telling on her. He wasn't even mad at her or anything. He didn't know that was wrong. She used to literally kiss him in his mouth. And he thought that she was just teaching him how to kiss. She was taking advantage of him. Come on, y'all. Who remembers this interview? Who was that rapper? Pretty popular rapper, too. He was sitting there just freely saying it. Yeah, my mama taught me how to kiss. She taught me how to tongue kiss, French kiss, everything. And the interviewer was like, she what? She did what? Come on, guys. Who did that interview? Was it Jim Jones? It don't feel like it was Jim. If that was Jim Jones, that's crazy. Was it Jim Jones, Terry? Let me see. Is that Jim Jones? Yeah, Jim Jones' mother taught him to kiss. Yeah, Jim Jones. Hang on, let me see. Before I go to this next, but I want to hear this real quick. Listen.
For the record, I love my mama more than anything in the world. And for the record, it was a joke. People take things way too far.
See, now he's trying to take it back.
Don't bother us anyway, but let's get it clear.
Now I want to hear the actual interview. He's trying to take it back. You wouldn't play like that about your mama. Come on now.
My mom showed me how to kiss every day when I was younger.
What you talking about? What did she tell you to do?
She told me how to tongue kiss when I was younger.
Like, what's the instructions?
There wasn't no instructions. She showed me with her mouth.
What kind of shit is that?
Like she
kissed you?
It's my mother.
I don't even like how they put these damn sound bites over this, because this is a serious situation. This ain't a funny situation. But he comes back and he recants it and says he was joking. You wouldn't play about that with your mama. Why would you get up there and play like that about your mama? Let's continue on this lady's interview right here, on this lady's review right here. Watch this.
like, girl, when I was younger, my mom would make us still trifling because your younger son is witnessing you do this. Like, that's really nasty, like, as heck. And my mom would do it on a regular basis, like, literally. I would, like, and mind you, these men are not even sending her money or nothing. Like, she would just do it just to do it. But then when my dad come home, she would literally, like, not answer their calls on WhatsApp, just ignore them until my dad goes to work. And I'm just like, ma'am. It's the shit my mom used to do. And I'm just looking at it like, oh, Lord. Like, it's crazy. I don't know what was going in her mind. Still trying.
And see, what's done in the dark will come to light. because there's a cameras to take pictures and stuff back then. There's WhatsApp, but I'm sure the mother didn't think that the internet is going to be used as a place to unload all of your traumas, and you're going to get exposed about this later in life. I'm sure she didn't know this. Do you see what I'm saying? Peace, Alexis. Peace, Corporate Thug, and peace, all of you guys. I'm sure she did not know this. But what's done in the dark will come to light. And look at this. So she's doing this while her actual husband, their father, is at work. He doesn't know that his wife is that fucking disgusting. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know she's absolutely disgusting and that she's essaying the children. Now, I want you guys to flip this. Ladies, imagine you come home from work and you learn that your husband now has been having children take pictures of his genitals so he can send them to women. Wouldn't you still say that's grooming? Wouldn't you still say you could have took that shit yourself, but you got my kids doing it? Wouldn't you still say, yo, that's grooming? You ain't telling me that's innocent. He tried to say, well, they came out of me anyway. They mine anyway. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Sick people have horrible excuses, man, to justify their bullshit. And sometimes parents use this thing and mean it. They'll ask for them to strip down, and you'll say, well, I don't want you to see me. Boy, I used to change your diapers. So I'm now at the age where I understand my autonomy. I don't want you to see me. Boy, take your pants off, drop your drawers. I used to change your diapers, boy. No, I know I don't want to. No. Your aunt could be running some shit like this by you. That shit ain't right. You don't understand a child's boundaries. If they say no, it means no. He'd be going to jail. Exactly. Because I will call the police. I call 911 and get this man before the mortuary do. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you would understand how he was violating them children by having them take pictures of his genitals, right? So, but the daddy doesn't know. They don't tell him. But the daughter knows it's wrong. You off working, trying to pay the bills, take care of the family. And what your wife, which should be nurturing your children, is doing is actually destroying your children. Buttercheek said, my mother pimped me out to my uncle and her boyfriend. She tells me to put it in God's hands till this day and get over it. And also she would run her hand up my leg and look at me in the tub. I'm so sorry. And a lot of you guys that was victims of this, and you say my parents wasn't around, a lot of times they were selling their children. They were selling their children. So they play that innocent role. They just wasn't there. I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sorry I wasn't there. But a lot of times they were selling these children. On TikTok, this black family, the whole family was essaying and mentally disabled daughter. Oh my God. And sister. They locked up the mama, the daddy, and the brother who got her pregnant. Ain't never in my life. I'm telling you. Guys, there's a duty for us to protect our children. Because all it takes is one time and our children are damaged forever. And she's going to have psychological damages too. Even though she seems to be put together, she seems to be aware of the situation and know it was wrong. There's still some damage that's done there, y'all. And you know the son is ruined. He done seen far too much. It's going to be real difficult for him to respect women like a pure person could. And it's like you take those opportunities away from your child whenever you don't protect them. And so that mother's duty was to protect her child, but she is the one who's hurting them. Not only are they witnessing their mother cheating, they're involved. She's making them take the photos. And you know they can't say no. Yo, that's disgusting, yo. That's absolutely disgusting. And so essay don't just happen by you touching your children inappropriately. It comes by having them do inappropriate things, man. So back to this vetting thing. Let me replay that again, that second part again.
Because your younger son is witnessing you do this. Like, that's really nasty, like, as heck. And my mom would do it on a regular basis, like literally. I would like, and mind you, these men are not even sending her money or nothing. Like she would just do it just to do it.
It shouldn't even matter. No money should make you do that. No money should make you do that. And to me, it bothers me when I hear women say that. I need money, so I'm gonna go get on a pole. I need money, so I'm gonna sell some cooch. What you sound like to me is you saying that if the rubber meets the road and you down on your luck, you're gonna go exploit men's low sexual morality, because if they'll pay you for sex, they already have low sexual morals. Okay, so I'm gonna go exploit these sick men already just so I can have some money in my pocket. Yo, you just as bad as they are. Why is that your go-to move, is to sell your damn body? Why? Go put some extra hours in. Why is that your go-to move? I'm gonna go get on a pole. So you're gonna go exploit these horny men so you can get some damn money for them, knowing you ain't interested in these men at all. Go build a real ass relationship, man, with somebody who can provide for you, and you wouldn't even be in that damn position. And it's crazy because you vibrate to you exactly what you are, because you are that man who's paying for sex. The woman who's selling it is exactly like the man who's paying for it. Because if he wanted sex, he could go build a real relationship with somebody that he can love and honor and protect, instead of paying for some damn sex from somebody who ain't got no interest in him other than that damn money in his pocket. And he ain't got no interest in you other than that damn coochie you got. So y'all taking advantage of each other. You think he's sick. You sick too. You can't have one without the other, man. You mirror each other. And I cannot stand to hear a woman say that. Oh, I'm low on cash, so let me sell some pussy. What? Man, that's crazy to me. That is crazy to me.
But then when my dad come home, she would literally like not answer their calls on WhatsApp, just ignore them until my dad goes to work. And I'm just like, ma'am, it's the shit my mom used to do. And I'm just looking at it like, oh Lord, like it's.
And you know, it makes it really difficult for her to respect her mother after that, right? How can you have respect for someone who lies, cheats, and has you take part in it by taking pictures of her naked ass, man, so she can send it to some stranger? How can you respect somebody like that? And for the little boy, he might think all women do that. He might think that shit's completely normal. At that age, he'll believe a man go down a chimney in one night, go down everybody's chimney in one night. At that age, they'll believe whatever you tell them. They don't have critical thinking faculties that young. This is why you can see a lot of young women who got molested when they was children, and they grow up and end up selling their bodies and being very loose, because there is no sexual boundaries. There's no sexual morality there. They didn't have an opportunity for it. And before you know it, the whole world's judging them, not knowing what they've been through. And there's a difference from somebody who chose to do this shit in their adult age and somebody who was harmed as a child. There's a big difference, yo. They shouldn't both be treated the same. I work at McDonald's first. Absolutely. Have some integrity. Have some integrity, man. So I'm gonna finish reading this vetting system. Meet and observe, I said. Spend time with the person in different settings, public, private, and without others present. Get to know this person. This is before you have anybody be around your children. Watch how they interact with your child and other children. Notice their body language. Do they respect personal space? Do they seem overly physical? Again, a child getting down to eye level with your a person getting down to eye level with your child, already ready to hug them, console them, kiss on them, without understanding children have boundaries. That is a red flag. That's a red flag. Girls saying, "Ah, that's my little boyfriend." That's a red flag. Okay, that's a red flag. Men saying, "Oh, that's my little girlfriend." That is a red flag, y'all. That's called grooming. And here's the second part. Ask direct questions. I don't care how offensive you think it sounds. Ask direct questions. Come right out and say, have you ever been accused or convicted of harming a child? Do you have any restrictions around being with minors? Have you worked or volunteered with kids before, and in what capacity? You need to know these things. Ask direct questions. Have you ever been accused or convicted of harming a child? Do you have any restrictions around being with minors, being around minors? Have you worked or volunteered with children before? And if so, in what capacity? And you want to make sure you're looking out for evasive or defensive answers. That's red flags, yo. What you mean if I ever been accused or convicted? Exactly what I said. Have you? They should want you to know this. They shouldn't get offended about that. They should want you to know this information. Hell no, I haven't. No, ma'am, I have not. And after you ask all those questions, still don't use trust. Still run a background check. Search state offenders registry and county criminal records. You can use a free public court record site, and if needed, do a paid background check service. Verify their name, date of birth, and their address history to ensure accurate results. Yeah, that hurt my soul to hear it too. That's crazy. I don't even know if I have the credentials to help somebody with that area, but I'll definitely point them in the right direction. Avoid dating a man. You should ask. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's anybody you date or anything. Have you ever been convicted of harming a minor? He shouldn't be like, I'm offended that you even asked me that. If he know you got children, why the hell would he choose to be offended and be all up in his little feelings instead of just asking you a question to give you the security you need? Yeah, it was Blueface too. Blueface, that's who I thought it was, Blueface, but I am familiar with this Jim Jones one too. Blueface one was a little bit different, wasn't it? Next, you want to verify their circle, not just them. Ask who else will be around your child when they are present. Meet those people as well, because predators often use a trusted middleman. Be cautious of anyone unwilling to introduce you to the others in their environment. It ain't just them. So if you can let your sister watch your children, but you don't know who else you let come over there. You can let your brother watch your children, but you don't know who else you let come over there. So you better be asking these questions, man. And I'm telling you now, if your child has mental development issues, I don't think you should even be letting nobody keep them. You shouldn't even do it because your child can't tell you. If they can't tell you what's going on, you watch your child or they go with you. I'm sorry, it's just going to require a whole different level of parenting for that child. We don't need no babysitters over here, and we never have. Me and Jamie ain't never been the type to leave our children with nobody like that. If it wasn't somebody who was directly kin to us, like our sister, my oldest sister, sometimes my baby sister kept them. It was very rare. This was when I was very young, though. But before you know it, we decided not to ever do that no more. They ain't stay with no church members or nothing. We raised our children. They always been with us. And we're so glad and fortunate that we was able to keep anything like that from happening to them. And like I said, you only got one time and your child is going to be different forever, man. So number 4, like I said, verify their circle. Ask who else will be around your child when they are present. Meet those people as well. Do background checks on those people as well. And if that's the case, if the person don't want to keep your child, they can tell you, nah, that's just too much for me. Okay, cool. I'll find somebody who's willing to do all of that. Otherwise, I just won't make that trip. I won't go to that place I want to go to. I'm gonna be with my child because that's your first priority and duty is to protect your child. Fuck that special occasion. Fuck that thing you talking about. Because you can never get that moment back the moment your child is hurt. Right, Tyrese. Who's going to tell the truth? Even after they tell you, still do the background checks. Still do everything you're supposed to do as a parent. But the reason you want to ask is because they may be very well up front. If they know you're going to do a background check anyway, they might say, yeah, I have. Okay, cool. No, then. That's unforgivable to me. I'm sorry. Some of y'all might think differently, but I don't think that's forgivable. I wouldn't want nobody like that around my children. And if I had a child's mother, who I don't care how much she trusted this person, if she couldn't work with me on that, I would want full custody of my child. And if you got a child's father, if you got a baby daddy whose father or uncle or anybody who's ever done that before, and they letting them around your children, you should be like, look, I don't want them around my children at all. At all, yo. At all. And if you can't work with me like that, I want full custody and you can come and see the child, but I don't want my child anywhere near anybody like that. Peace to you, man. What's up with you? Welcome in. Number 5 is check their reputation. Quietly ask other parents, neighbors, and teachers in the areas if they've ever had concerns, and look for patterns in stories. Where there's smoke is often fire. Now, teach and test your child's safety awareness. This is where I believe it truly starts. It's with your child. You can't protect the child who's completely ignorant. Okay, you need to teach them first self-defense and how to set their own boundaries and report back to you correctly on what's going on. She said, I met this guy a couple of weeks ago, seeing a bunch of red flags. I did a background check and he had 2 cases on kids. Wow. My daughter has cerebral palsy and she is nonverbal and total care. I don't play. You did the right thing, premium woman. You did the right thing by that. And again, you still got to look out for body language and red flags and how often they try to get close to your child because they may have never been convicted. Because again, some children are so young they can't tell, and some children have mental development issues to where they cannot tell. So I think that if you don't prepare your child, you're leaving them at a disadvantage if we don't protect them. So teach your child safety awareness. Have ongoing talks with your child about safe and untouched and safe zones and where they shouldn't be touched, secret keeping and personal boundaries. You don't keep no secrets. That's a red flag. First time an adult asks you to keep a secret, you need to come and tell me. I don't keep secrets. No, I don't keep any secrets. No, I don't want to see it then. I don't want to know about it then. I don't want to go then. Well, if I take you here, promise me you won't tell your mama. If I give you this, promise me you won't tell your mama. No, man. We're not doing that game. No secrets, man. Set non-negotiable boundaries as well. Never allow unsupervised one-on-one time until trust is earned over time. And like I said, even when they earn your trust means nothing. Your trust ain't going to stop them from doing something to your child if they decide to. So cameras need to be up. You need every little thing. It's just like if you put somebody in a room and put a bunch of money on the table. You can trust them all you want to. It don't mean they ain't going to touch that money. But if they see cameras on them, they might not touch that money. Do you understand? No overnight stays. No overnight stays. No sleeping in the same bed with your child. None of that stuff. Because they get up under covers, ain't no cameras can see that. And you need to test your children with scenarios too. Ask them, what would you do if someone asked you to keep something from me? Would you do it? Ask your child, would you keep a secret from your mom or your daddy? If someone asks you to keep a secret from me, if your babysitter's coming, if you got a babysitter and they got a name, use the name. If such and such asks you to keep a secret from me, would you do it? Because you want your child to understand that is a no-no. We don't keep no secrets. That's how it starts. Trying to earn trust with your child. Get them lying, covering stuff up, seeing how well they can keep a small secret. Because you got to understand, people who do this are going to try to be as secretive as they can about it so they can escape the penalty of it. So they'll test your child with something small, give them a piece of candy. The mother done told them they can't have no candy or eat after this certain time or something. And it could very well be a test to say, hey, look, I'm going to give you this, but don't tell your mama I gave this. She don't want you to have this. Okay. Did you tell your mama I gave you that candy yesterday? No. Okay, you can keep a secret. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't let our kids sit on no damn Santa Claus lap or nothing. We don't play none of that. Because a part of me be like, why would a grown man even want to play that role? Why would a grown man want to dress up, go to a damn mall and sit kids on his damn lap? None of that sounds right to me. All that sounds weird as hell to me. It's a fucking myth. As a grown man, why would you want to help perpetrate a myth on a child anyway? All that shit is child abuse to me. You're going to dress up as a fictional character, knowing this child believe in it, and have him whisper in your fucking ear what you want your parents to give you. Man, hey, that's all weird to me. Y'all can't tell me that don't sound weird. Come on, y'all. That don't sound weird to y'all? A grown-ass man dressing up as Santa Claus, having children sit on his lap and whisper in his ear what they want their parents to get them. This nigga, he willing to do that. What is he getting out of that shit? It's a myth. It's not real. So you're going to perpetrate a false myth onto the child's mind. So now when they reach the age and you say Santa Claus don't exist, now they say, well, I sit on his lap though. You done solidified a fake belief. We told our children we bought them damn presents. We don't tell them nothing about no Santa Claus, no tooth fairy, none of that shit. Why would you want to do that? That's weird. As a grown man, why would you want to dress up as a suit and go to a mall and do that? That's very weird to me. My children, I'm talking about when my children was little, they could walk past Santa Claus right there and know that was stupid because they was already raised to understand that shit ain't true. So they'd be like, look at them kids over there, kids older than them. Easter bunnies too, none of that shit. I don't play none of that shit. I want my children to believe in what's real. I don't play with their minds. I don't want my children being raised in no fake Truman Show where I'm telling them stuff that's not true. And you ruining their critical thinking faculty. They don't know the world. They don't know how big the world really is. So when you tell them Santa Claus is real, they don't understand that that's far-fetched to say that. They don't understand that. And when they grow up and understand the world even more, then they can second guess that type of stuff. But by then, man, they already believe in it. And it upsets them so badly when you tell them these people ain't real. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of information. When I was a child, I believed in Santa Claus, right? I never went to no mall and sit on his lap, but I used to pray to him. I wanted stuff for Christmas. And so I'd be in my head praying to Santa Claus, please tell my grandma to get this. Santa Claus, please bring me this. Please bring me this. Bring me that. Because in my mind, if he lived forever, because everybody been told about it, he don't die. If he lived forever, he can be all over the world. He was really no different than Jesus for me. He knowing you're naughty and nice. He was really no different than God for me. And this is why you shouldn't play like that. She said, I sat on Santa's lap, but he was an old white man and smelled like the mall. Yeah, but why is he doing that? Sabrina, think about this. Why is he dressing up? Why does he want to do this? I ain't never met a man who said, yeah, I want to dress up like Santa Claus and go. You don't love kids that damn much that's weird to me. I would never want to do that. I would never want to do that. If somebody came to me and said, hey man, would you play Santa Claus for us this year? Hell no. Why would I want to do that? You got to think, why is it that you got to even sit on his lap? I want y'all to really think about this. Why is it that that's tradition to even sit on this nigga lap? Why? You can't just have him lean forward and you tell him in his ear? Why does you got to sit on his lap? He can't get down on one knee at the child's level and hear their secret and hear what they want. They can't write it on a notepad and give it to him. Why do you have to sit on this nigga lap? Why? That's very pedophilic behavior. That whole myth is pedophilic to me. The fact he got little elves making his toys for him. All that is very weird to me. Next is require open door policies for all interactions. Don't be closing no door. Don't close no door with my child behind that door. That's weird. Because somebody will say, don't leave your child with this person because of their conviction. But what about what they'll do while you home? What about what they'll do when you're sitting right beside them or you just in the kitchen and you're not paying attention to them? I don't like that. I actually hate that. Anybody who watching your children should know that you're going to maintain accountability to them. What does that mean? It means that you're going to be dropping in unexpectedly, that you're going to do check-ins and calls, video calls, whenever they got your child. I can FaceTime you at any moment. I can pop up at any damn moment, or somebody I trust can pop up at any moment. If I'm out of town, somebody I trust can pop up at any moment. Make sure everybody know your child got a direct line to reach you at any time. Your child should have a line to call you at any time. And if they don't, they shouldn't be being babysat. If they don't know how to hit that number and dial you, not dial your number, but they should know how to hit your name on that phone and call you if they need you. If they can't do that, they shouldn't be staying with nobody. You should teach your child all that before they can go with somebody else, y'all. And if we do this as parents, we will lower the assault rate. We will lower that. We will lower the assault statistic. If we too often we focus on the actual perpetrators when we talk about the percentages of children being harmed, and then we say that must be a lot of perpetrators. No, it must be a lot of parents that's not paying attention to their children. You could have the same amount of perpetrators out there. If we protect our children better, they won't get close to our children, y'all. You know, beats with nobody except for the parents, all that stuff. Because you got to think, if you let somebody take your child to the beach or take them to Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, you ain't got no camera set up in those places. You watching my child at my house where my cameras are. I'm not taking them to your house. No. And you might say, I don't trust you around my things. Well, then why would you trust your child with somebody you don't trust around your damn things? You would trust somebody with your child before you would trust them in your house? Man, you can come and stay in my house for the whole month before I let you keep my child. I'd rather you take something from my house than touch my child. So yeah, you can come to the house and watch them. That's what you can do. Because I know I got cameras set up and everything. They're going to know the rules and I'm going to know the person. We're not playing that. And this is if I trust you, you get to come in here with all these cameras and rules. If I don't trust you, you ain't coming nowhere near my house, period. I don't even want you getting to know my child if I don't trust you. Because if you know my child, you might pull over on my child outside playing or some shit. Walk up to him at the store or something. Walk up to pull up at the school. Nah, you good. You good. And next, family, you got to trust your intuition. You better understand there's something real behind your intuition. When somebody seems off, when you seem like something is off, trust your instinct. And if you're wrong, be wrong. But what if you allow them around your kids and you don't trust your instinct? That's a wrong you can't afford, because now your child has been harmed and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'd rather just, I don't get to take this trip. I don't get to go do this thing. We're going to have to stay with our child because I just don't trust them. Yeah, everything lined up with them, but it's just a feeling, yo. I'd rather trust that and stay my ass home with my child. And I just won't be able to make that experience. I paid a family member to watch my daughter when I was smaller. And do you know, they got mad and dogged my name because I said it had to be at my house. Their partner sniffed powder. See what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying, Sabrina? Why they mad because they got to come to your house to do it? I'd rather it be at your house. I don't want your little kids at my house tearing my shit up anyway. I'll bring my PlayStation to your crib if I'm going to keep your kid, but I don't keep nobody kids. I love my kids. I love yours too, but very little. I love them as much as you do as far as their well-being, but I just don't want, I just want my kids around me, my grandkids around me. I don't really like kids, y'all. I don't want to have small talk and shit. That ain't my thing. Now I can full well be that with my kids, which is crazy. I can be that. And I can do it even at Sunday school. I can entertain a child at Sunday school and stuff like that. But my own personal time, no, I'm good. I don't want your kids. I ain't watching nobody kids. Did you see the little race car? No, I don't want nothing to do with your race car. Take it over to your mama. Where your mama? I'm good. I like adults. I like talking with people who can understand where I'm coming from. I don't even like dumb adults. I don't even like adults who I can't even open my mind up to. So I don't do the small talk shit, none of that. Even though I love your kid, they cute as shit. They look just like you. Keep them with you though. Keep them over there with you. Y'all can be cute together. I pay her $200 every 2 weeks, free cable, bathroom, full access to kitchen. But it was a problem to sit with my daughter from 8 to 5. Oh, okay, right. She better not ever say anything to me on God. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's crazy. That's nasty work. So yeah, trust your intuition. You're not obligated to explain your caution for anyone. Your child's safety outweighs hurt feelings. So if they come and pass the test on everything, they've been knowing you for years and everything. If you got a feeling, honor that feeling, yo. If you're wrong on the side of protecting your child. Don't be wrong on the other side of trusting that person and saying, well, I didn't trust them, but they met all the criteria. And now your child's sitting here saying they was harmed. It might not even been through them. It could have been through somebody that came over there. It could have been through them not paying attention and somebody came over there. So if you're not going to treat my child like your own, now I'm good on that. That's what I'm paying you for. And too many times, man, we drop our children off with our grandparents and our mothers and be gone for the whole weekend. And grandma just going to let the kid go in the other room with your damn brothers and uncles and cousins and shit. And now your child got hurt by one of them under her watch. And you like, but I trusted you, grandma. Yeah, but grandma went to sleep. Grandma was in there cooking. She wasn't paying attention. She trusted her nephew. She trusted her cousin. She trusted your little brother. She trusted all that shit. She didn't know the nigga was sick. And now it's something they sweeping under the rug and the family never tell nobody about it. And this nigga still walking around. And y'all know it happens. Let's be real. And half the time they're not going to tell you because they know you will unalive them. And it's sad that sometimes the mothers won't tell the fathers, especially when they co-parenting. They will not tell the father about it because they know this nigga gonna snap. They know he gonna crash out, so they won't tell him. She didn't have a job, and I'm paying. Plus, she could get her check on the first. All she had to do was just sit there and make sure my baby was good. That's all right, though. Absolutely. And I wouldn't bend a break on that. And I can't stand that SA be swept under the rug inside of our households. No, man, these sick people need to pay the penalty. Son or daughter, anybody. If my son did some shit like that, I'm sorry, son, but I'm calling the police on your ass. I'm getting rid of you for I hurt you, for I seriously hurt you. That demon cannot go unchecked. I don't care who face it hide behind. That demon cannot go unchecked. I don't care whose face is hiding behind. Do you understand me? Somebody who would do that to a child and ruin their life, then they don't get a chance at a healthy life. They get to go to jail and be locked away from society. They're sick, and there's some sick people out here. And you got to get them the help they need. And that means that they get locked the hell up somewhere. That's just what it means. Because regardless of how much you love them, if they hurt your child, hurt your children, hurt your family members, then they need to be away from them. I don't care what they say or how they beg and plead or none of that. Your first duty is to protect your offspring, y'all. And so many times we're failing them because we're trusting people. Again, 90-something%, I told y'all, 94%, 93%. That's an alarming statistic, y'all. 93%. 93% of children are harmed sexually by their abusers. 34% are harmed by the family. 59% by acquaintances. And 7% by strangers. That means you got to keep your eyes open. Open. Absolutely open. And before I end this live, I'm going to apologize to Neo. I wasn't there, Neo. I wasn't there, but I'm going to take your word for it because I don't believe anybody should play like that. Just like I believe you should have took Felicia's word for it. You not believing Felicia made me extremely upset. And this made me have a whole lot less empathy for you. And of course, with you bothering me all these years behind shit that Callie was saying, that really got me upset. And so I responded and I did not act appropriately. And I heard you say I re-victimized you. So I'm going to take your word for it and I'm going to apologize to you for what I said. I don't have any facts surrounding you and your brother either. All I know is what I was told. And I understand I was told that by somebody who you was already beefing with. So I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. And I'm going to apologize to you on my platform. I said it on my platform. I can apologize to you on my platform. I'm extremely sorry if my words hurt you. But I need you to understand something. Your words hurt me too. Callie accusing me of that made me feel victimized. He accused me of trying to essay him. So I felt horribly victimized. When you put Shy on your platform and had her try to validate some shit Callie made up, I felt horribly victimized. And whether or not you have it in you to apologize to me, I will apologize to you and I'll never say that again. I'm truly sorry to you. And I hope you can live your life without, feeling anger for me, because we all know that anger only affects us if we harbor that for anybody. But I'm gonna try my best to give you the help in forgiveness. You may say I don't forgive you, but I'm gonna try to help you by offering my apology, extending my apology to you. If what you went through, if what you saying you went through, I'm gonna take your word for it and say I apologize to you. I didn't mean to resurrect any horrible emotions or trauma that you have in you. We was going at it again. So I apologize to you for that, because these are not issues I believe you should ever play with, because they affect people to the point to where they cannot recover from it. All right. So if you're not watching this video, I hope somebody will get the word to her that I apologize to her. All right, guys, please take what I said, take heed to what I said. Protect your children, because all it takes is one time and you've lost your child's purity forever. You will never get to know who they truly was going to be. You will never get to truly see their personality because of that trauma. Okay? Protect your child with all that's in you. If it means you can't go on that trip, if it means you can't get away and go do that fun thing with your friends or family or whatever the case may be, a work trip, whatever the case may be, your first duty is to your child. Right, we only responsible for our own actions, absolutely. And I listen, as I've done more studying into being stoic and what stoicism really is. And if for those of you who don't know, stoic, S-T-O-I-C, being stoic, it focuses on controlling your inner emotions and your actions that stem from them. It doesn't tell you don't feel emotions. It doesn't tell you to be cold, but it says feel every bit of the emotion, but don't act on it. And understand that how you see things, your emotions that arise from a certain thing happening outside of you is based on how you see that thing. So you have to deal with how you see that thing and work on that. And then take time, breathe, meditate. Don't react immediately, because you may respond harshly from your emotion. Being stoic is about responding with your future self in mind and not responding from your emotions. And I've responded a lot through being hurt and offended. But a lot of my hurt and offense come from my expectations that I place on people. And people are not me. And when you put your own morals on people, your own moral compass on people, and they blow it and they do you completely opposite, it makes you feel very personally hurt and you react. You become reactive. Okay? You become very reactive. And we always try to chalk it up to, well, that's just my response. And you can't talk about how people respond. But listen, man, there's a responsibility on us to watch how we respond as well, regardless of what happens. And so I'm truly going to practice this being stoic thing. I've never had to be this way. I've always been reactive. My whole upbringing has taught me to be reactive. And if I wasn't being reactive, I was a bitch or I was a coward. And many of us come from that background. That's why we're so quick to hit you in your fucking mouth or say something to hurt your feelings when I was a hurt. When the reason we're doing it is because we are hurt and we offended. That's why you're getting hit in your mouth. That's why you're getting stomped out. That's why the damn ambulance on its way to pick you up, because you hurt us. And we only know how to respond with hurt, because in our mind, we was raised by instigators. He said this, what you gonna do? When you being raised by instigators, it'll fuck your mind up. And that's a trauma right there, because here's what a trauma is. It's something that happens in your life that imprints on you and causes you to think differently through that trauma, through that moment for the rest of your life. Okay? So I was highly traumatized by being raised in fighting environments. The tougher you were, the more you got bragged on. And I was very tough. Man, my cousin stands 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", And there ain't a single one of them who could whoop my ass, yo. And you can ask them. Ask them, is your jaw, they'll tell you, they jaw gonna be very fucking sore the next day fucking with me. I hit hard. And this is before I was trained in boxing. My grandmother even raised me that way. If you lose, you getting your ass whooped. And if you let them punk you, you getting your ass whooped. So I was raised by people who didn't know anything about being stoic, who didn't understand making decisions that was best for your life. The decisions we was taught to make was to crash the fuck out. Do you understand? If you take those behaviors into the real world, you're going to prison at an early age. You can't be hitting nobody in the mouth because they called you an N-word. You're going to jail because it's not illegal for them to say that, but it's illegal for you to hit them. And I swear they want us raised in environments like that so we can go straight to fucking jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. They want us like that, y'all. They want us crashing out over what somebody said. What they said ain't necessarily illegal, but what you did is. There was this white woman, she was pregnant, and she called these black women niggas as they was walking inside a damn Walmart, and they jumped the fuck out of her. They went to jail for that shit. She walked because it's not illegal. Unfortunately, it's not illegal to call somebody that. But how many of y'all know if somebody called you that, you're going to hit them in the fucking mouth? Think about this. How many of y'all know in the back of y'all mind, if y'all walking through a convenience store and somebody who's not your race look at you and call you a nigga, that you're going to slap the shit out of them? Be honest with yourself right now. Yo, put a 1 in the chat. If you know the version of you right now is going to knock their teeth out. Be honest with yourself. That makes you reactive. That actually makes you reactive. And that actually makes you susceptible to going to fucking prison based on what somebody else is doing to you. Right. See, I appreciate your honesty, twin. I appreciate your honesty, twin mommy. For real, for real. Because most of us, if we be honest, we know we hitting them in the fucking mouth. And I can be honest with you, if these people that have been doing this shit to me over the last few years, talking about my children and shit, I swear to God, I would be in prison. Sabrina, that's dope that you slow to strike. Maybe you wasn't raised in that environment. And if you were, maybe you was one of those people who was just extra aware, chose one of the chosen ones who didn't succumb to how you were raised. But I definitely succumbed to how I was raised when it comes to being violent. I'm violent as hell when I'm mad. I will never hurt a soul. But if you cross the line with me and say some bullshit to me, my first reaction is to knock you out. My first reaction is to. Because I grew up in an environment where I was a bitch if I didn't. Even if I was scared, I was going to hit you in the fucking mouth. Because I'd rather lose a fight than be called a bitch. I grew up in that world of prove it. Prove it. Prove how tough you are. Because people don't know how to leave you the hell alone if you don't show them. See, I'd probably call him a cracker. See, that don't do nothing for me. Like, insults don't do anything for me unless it's online. I feel a little bit better if I cuss somebody out or call them out their name or say something back to them when it's online, but it does nothing for me in person. If you violate me with your words in person, it does not do anything for me to violate you back with words. I don't feel better at all. Only thing make me feel better is hit you upside the damn head. And I know that's a scary place to be in, man. And I think that's why I surrounded myself with people who are not like that. People who don't insult. I don't go nowhere near people who act like that. Because I know that they'll bring me out of myself. I can't take it. And that makes me weak mentally. Because I've never dealt with those things. But I'm working on being stronger mentally. And that's what the slave master did. Keep the body strong, keep the mind weak. I was hit as a child unnecessary and vowed to never do that to other people. Wow. See, that makes you a chosen one. Because I was hit as a child early, and it taught me that that's the language that I speak. I get hit, therefore I get hit. I hit motherfuckers. When my grandma got mad, she instantly started looking for a fucking belt or some switches to put together. And she couldn't find that. She was hitting you upside your fucking head. She was throwing a shoe at you, a bowl, anything she can get her fucking hand on. And that's how you knew to be good, is she started looking around for some shit. What I say? And she started looking around for something, and you knew you better stop then. And I took that same shit into reality. Somebody at school running their mouth, I'm going to do what my grandma did to me. It's the only thing I knew to do. Knock your ass out. And if grandma was too tired, she'd get her husband to do it, her boyfriend to do it. If he was too tired, she'd call daddy. But you was getting your ass beat. That's how my grandma taught you lessons, was pain. And if she didn't whoop you that day, she put it on the shelf. She would say, I'm putting it on the shelf. And that meant whenever she does have the energy to whoop your ass, she gonna whoop that ass. That's just how it went, yo. That's how it went. That's literally how it went. I don't know how Robert became so passive when it comes to dealing with things, but if you in front of Robert, Robert can't take that shit either. He'll snap on your ass too. I ain't never seen him back down. I ain't never seen him back down from a fight with a guy, with a man. He got all the patience in the world for a woman, but that nigga will lose it if it's a guy. So we all built like that. We really are. We do not know how to keep our hands to ourselves. So leave us the fuck alone. We bad for it. We good for it, I say. But acting like that to get you put down real quick, because everybody ain't trying to fight you. And then there's consequences for that. Yeah, she'll say, I'm putting it on the shelf today. And Sparkle, let me tell you this. If it was 2 weeks from now when she got energy, you sitting over there, you good. Playing with your toes and shit. You over there juggling. I'm just trying to say you minding your business, right? You doing some shit. You just over there chilling like a kid. Twisting your damn hair and naps. You making some damn twisties in your head. You think about growing locks and shit. Here go Grandma, Kevin. Go get that belt. Huh? Yeah, remember the other day when you did what you did? Yep, come on, get that belt. Shut up if I give you something to cry about. Then she'll beat your ass. And then if you cry longer than a few minutes, she'll whoop your ass again. Because that kept you from trying to use guilt to punish her with it. You're not about to go around her sniffling and shit and try to make her feel bad for it. Because she'll whoop your ass again. She taught you real early now, that you're not going to guilt trip her. So she'll whoop your ass. She'll whoop your ass for something you didn't do. And she'll tell you better not cry. Like, how I better not cry? You just gave me 36 lashes. I thought by his stripes I'm healed. Damn. Yeah. You over here. I'm talking about beat your ass so bad, you laughing later in the day, and your laugh turned into you still catching breath from the ass whooping you got. You didn't even know you were still fucked up. I'm not lying. I'm not making this shit up now. You thought you was good. It's 8 hours later and shit, and you over there still catching your breath from the ass whooping you got. Because the belt wrapped around you and hit you in your fucking back, and you were speechless and shit. And then you think that because she accidentally hit you in the back, she done. She still ain't done. She'll tell you to come back over there and get some more. And I wish you would walk in there and tell her, Grandma, I really didn't do that thing you whooped me for. Nigga, it's over, nigga. You got your ass whooped. Don't come back to her at all about that shit. But I really didn't do it. Let her whoop you for some shit she think you did that somebody else did. Show back up in there trying to damn get some grace. Grandma, I really didn't do that. You're going to get your ass whooped again. She didn't play none of that shit. So you just walk around with all type of psychological trauma and ass whooping trauma, everything. You just fucked up over there. Glad you clarified that, bro, because the intentional the continual misconstruings, right, is at an all-time high on the internet. Yeah, it'd be accidental when she hit you in the back. Belt be done wrapped around you, hit your ass in the back, and you can't even reach the spot she hit you in and shit. You think that's gonna make her stop. It ain't making her stop a damn thing. She blamed you for moving. If you wasn't moving, you wouldn't have got hit in the back. Grandma, but the belt wrapped around me. Yeah, because you got too close. I told you to stay at a distance. Ah, goddamn. I'm talking about hours later, you still trying to reach that damn spot on your back, checking it in the mirror and every damn thing. And I wish you would call the damn police talking about some, I'm being child abused. She'll give you the phone. Call them. Call them. Call them, yo. I'm running away. Go, run. Go. I'll help you pack. You was not making them feel guilty. Not the people who raised me. It's only fun running away if you think somebody gonna miss your ass. It ain't fun when a motherfucker say, I'll help you pack. They take all the fun out of fucking running away. All right, I'm done, yo. I'm venting. Listen, y'all. Protect your children, okay? And break generational curses. Do not raise your children the way you were raised. You will ruin them, I'm telling you. Because they'll think all that shit's okay because you did it. It's not okay. I don't whoop my children. I did not pass that down. I talk to my children. I ask the tough questions. Why did you do that? And what I learned is children hate that a whole lot more than getting their ass whooped. Get the 3rd degree. They hate that shit. Why did you do that? No. Tell me exactly why you did that. Why did you do that stupid thing? Why did you do that? and they got to explain it to you and write that shit down and critically think about why they did that shit, they be like, man, just give me a whooping. Nope. You're going to tell me why you did that. We about to do a whole therapy session, and you ain't going to never do it again. And then you got to think of something to discipline your child. I don't mean whoop them, because whoopings ain't discipline. Whooping is what you do when you fail to discipline your child. So I don't mean give them a beat down when I say discipline them. I mean put something in line that will help them to learn a lesson. If they steal from you, put them to work. Have them cutting grass, washing dishes, washing tables, mopping the fucking floor. They're going to be doing all the chores in the house. All the other brothers and sisters get the week off, the month off. They're going to be your maid till they learn not to steal no fucking more. Make them work out, push-ups, pull-ups till they fucking drop. They're going to be strong as fuck. Then you teach them how to harness all that energy and use it positively. They would have went to the NFL because they were getting disciplined from being bad as hell. How you get in such good shape? I was a badass little kid. Mom and daddy made me run laps, made me do jumping jacks, made me do push-ups, made me do burpees. Listen, I'm telling you, make them do burpees. Burpees is when you get down into a push-up, hop back up and jump. Make their ass do burpees. It builds a discipline that can't nobody take away from them, yo. Put them on a strict ass diet, no snacks, no nothing. They eating like they trying to cut weight for a bodybuilding show and shit. Tuna, lettuce. If they good, they might get some mayo. But this is very good for your child to eat like that. So when you punish them, and you might say, well, if you punish them that way, they gonna want to do it when they're grown. Yes, they will. They won't part from it. When you build a discipline in your child, I don't care how much they hate it, they're gonna do that shit because they'll feel like they're missing something if they don't. My children work out. My children work out, y'all. They very disciplined. And if they don't do it, they feel bad. It's been a week since I've been doing my push-ups, Daddy. I got to get back on it. Said, facts, my mama gonna give you the phone and say, call them motherfuckers and tell them, yeah, I'll be right here waiting on them. That's exactly what she'll say. See, was you raised by my grandma? Was my grandma your mama? I feel like we can now. Damn. Take the cord off the TV, they'll hit you with any damn thing. And you be over with your feelings hurt. I can't believe that you would hit me with the, but you walking them. Yeah, nigga, you won't do it no more. That's how I was raised. And that's not right. I'm telling you now, that's not right. It don't teach your kids shit. Discipline is what teaches them, yo. Yeah, discipline is what teaches them. They should already be making their beds. They should already be doing those types of things. You leave in your room and your bed ain't made. You on that PlayStation and your bed over there messy. You got them shoes all over the floor, more than one pair of shoes on the floor. You wore those shoes the other day. Why your stuff ain't picked up? They supposed to already be doing that. But it ain't nothing wrong with having your child do them damn push-ups, do them jumping jacks, have a strict workout regimen until they grow on them, y'all. I'm telling you, you'll get way more disciplined children, okay? And then put them into athletics. Teach them how to harness all that strength they earned. I'm telling you. But that's it, family. Yo, look, be evolution, be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it's in that chaos that you found yourself. Each one teach one, grow from what you've been through. Do not repeat it. That's continuing the cycle. Stop it. Break the cycle. Do not use what your parents put you through as a template to treat your children the same way. Learn from what they put you through. You are your parents' ascendants. They say you're a descendant. I don't like that. You are their ascendants. You came here to correct how they raised you, and then your children should be correcting where you went wrong. Okay? You are their ascendants. Do better than they did, y'all. And this ain't a slap in their face. That's your duty. That's your number one duty, is to come here and do better than your parents did. Do you understand? Remember that. Everybody say this. I am my parents' ascendants. Type that in the comments right now. I am my parents' ascendants, not descendants. Sparkle said, to this day, I make my bed every day, every morning before I leave work. Absolutely. Thank you, Premium. Says this was a great live. Thank you, Twin Mommy. I don't hit my kids. Right. For this conversation reason. I don't want them reminiscing on ass whoopings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Type that in. I am my children's ascendants, y'all. Type that in. I mean, I'm my parents' ascendants. Absolutely. My grandma was a quarterback with the house shoe, the house slipper. I'm telling you, Lou Pop, my grandma didn't miss. She never missed. I am my parents' ascendants. Yeah, yeah. Hold that in your chest. Remember that in your keep that in the front of your mind. You are not here to recreate what they did. You're here to make it better. You're here to revise. Okay, you're here to revise, you're here to change, you're here to break the cycle. Let's break cycles, y'all. Let's be better than our parents. And this is not to be a slap in their face. This is why I was so glad to have children. When Jamie first came and said, I'm pregnant, I was like, I want it. She thought I was going to be mad. No, because I had an opportunity to do better than my father did, better than I didn't know my mother, but I didn't get to live with my father. And I was determined that my child going to live with me. I'm going to be there every day. They ain't going to know what it's like to miss me. They ain't going to know what it's like. I can't tell you how hard it is for a child to love himself and give himself a strong mind and believe in himself when he don't have parents saying you can do anything you put your mind to. So I said, I'm going to be for my parents I'm going to be for my children what my parents weren't for me. And sometimes when I look back at videos and see how much I love on my children, it brings tears to my eyes because I never got that. I don't know what that shit is like. I don't know what it's like. My father loves me, but he's just not that type of person. He's not that type of outpouring, lovable type of person. He's just not that type of person. I wouldn't know what to do if my father stood me in front of him and said, boy, I love you. You mean the world to me. I would not understand. I wouldn't know what that means. But I do that with my children all the time. It don't even mean shit to them no more. I know, Dad. I get it, Dad. Dang, I get it. Now, they don't act like that, but I'm sure that's what they think. But what my children get, I've never gotten it. There'll always be a hole in my heart from that. From not getting those types of things. So give your children you, man. Give them all the love in the world that they can handle so they can go out and pour that love out on somebody else. Don't have your children out here wondering if they're loved and wondering who they are. You are their parent. You tell them who they are. You're supposed to know their talents and gifts. You're supposed to watch them. They say, look at this, Dad. Don't turn your fucking head. You watch him cut that backflip and fall on his damn head if you have to. You watch him sing. You learn their gifts, and then you're supposed to pour into them. If your son got a deep voice, you tell him your voice is important. Don't you waste your words. You've been chosen by the ancestors. I'm serious, y'all. You as the parent are supposed to see those things in your child, and you're supposed to cultivate them. You're supposed to water them. And the way you water them is to nurture them. You speak life into those things in your children. That's what a parent is for. That's what you're there for. Some parents be jealous of their kids. Don't even want to tell them they did good. You all right. Yeah, you was all right. Sit down somewhere. You up there dancing, trying to show them your moves. Sit down somewhere. Cheer me on. Damn. You're supposed to be my first stage. You're supposed to be my first audience, my first fan. Why are you not cheering me on? Why am I getting on your nerves? Because you watching Andy Griffith? Fuck Andy Griffith. What you say? Nothing. Ham told me yesterday, I'm not going to take my daughter talent when she bad. I said, how much you want to bet? Right. She going to be like, I'm mama. I'm exactly like her. Give me that tablet. Imagine dancing in front of your parent. They try to watch Andy Griffith, so they tell you to sit the hell down. It's a rerun. Pay attention to me. All right, y'all. That's it. Y'all be good. I love y'all. Check y'all next time. Peace.